Hello, brothers and sisters. Raven here. This week's going to be short and simple. There's mainly two things I want to let you know about. First of all, this week, next week, and possibly the week after, things might be a little more chaotic for me. I don't know for sure if I'm going to be doing the videos I normally do or if things are going to get kind of backed up because of multiple things going on and things I'm dealing with at the moment. Not necessarily bad, but just changes that make it hard to keep things in order. However, one thing I do want to do this weekend is do another video for Homestead Heretics, and I wanted to let you know about it here. From a friend, I have received a letter that had been written by Blair Adams. This is a letter that went to the leadership of Homestead Heritage about 2004. And the reason I want to talk about this is primarily because this shows a lot more of Blair Adams himself. And before I go into this, reminder for any of you who don't know, and I know a lot of people will want to come at me like I don't know what I'm talking about. Let me say right now, this is my area of expertise. I have a master's degree in writing. That's what I studied. That's what I do, is writing. And that isn't just writing of any particular kind. It's everything. I studied poetry, fiction, essays, etc. Not just one special kind, just writing in general and how that works. This letter shows quite a bit of Blair Adams' style. So now, with all those rumors I've heard, all those things I've been told about how much of the books were actually Blair and how much were somebody else editing it or changing things, how much of it was really his teachings and or somebody else's, all that stuff starts to come into clearer focus now. Because what I can tell, yes, the same person wrote this as wrote the books. However, I can see the distinct difference that this was one he wrote on his own and did not have anybody go and check, whereas the other, he had multiple people, one or two probably in particular, helping him edit it, put things in order, give suggestions, etc. But I can see the overarching style of his writing in both this letter and the books. So those theories, rumors, etc. that we've heard that the books are not Blair Adams' teachings, no. And the big reason I'll say that's wrong is because in this essay, it's far more blunt. It's almost as if those who edited tried to tone it down or simply make it so that it wasn't as easy to notice. And the other thing I will say about this, which does make sense, you normally would expect this, okay? So when you go from somebody who's written a book or done a sermon or anything like that, and then goes and writes a letter, you would expect more of this in a letter. However, in my opinion, I see a lot more of a change in this than I would have expected. And that is that the writing in this letter is far more self-centered. This is far more about him. Even when it's not, it's about him. So I'll now come out and say I fully disagree when people think that these other writings were not Blair, or these writings will give you a wrong idea of what Blair taught. Maybe, but only in that you'll think his teachings weren't quite that bad. Whereas here it's so blunt. So what I hope to do is go through the entirety of this letter. Actually, 3 letters. There's primarily one, then a much shorter one that is just sort of to add to that, and then a very short letter that comes as sort of a conclusion to the whole thing. I don't know if I'll do them all at once, but I do want on my other channel to go through these a little more in detail, discuss some of what's in there. Part of the reason I want to do it there is because it's going to be difficult to just sum this up if you go into any of the particulars in it. And also, it's going to be hard to keep in order. And lastly, as I said, studying writing, for me, the flaws of it make it so hard for me to go into this and not get caught off track on that. I'll do my best not to, but in this kind of situation, I don't want to just do a short little video. If some major topic comes up that I decide after the fact, okay, let's put this on another video, I'll put it here on the channel. But otherwise, if you want to see stuff about this, you'll have to go over and look at Homestead Heretics. And I hope to put that up this next week. So, though I may not be certain how much I'll get done for multiple reasons over the next 2-3 weeks, I am going to keep trying to, and I do want to get this up at some point within the next 2 weeks. I'll see you guys next time. God bless.